there. Welcome to your meditation practice. My name is Sasha and I will be leading you through the practice today. I'm happy to be here and I'm grateful you are too. First things first, when you meditate, always be sure that you're in a place where you feel safe, comfortable, and at peace. So if you need to pause this to get settled or move into a different room or another place, go ahead and do that now. Maybe you'd like to bring with you a journal or something to write on afterwards. Post-meditation is a great time to reflect and just write down a few things that maybe were inspired by the meditation practice or some insights that you may have had or want to remember. So maybe you'd like to have that handy. Next thing, just make sure that you're comfortably seated. If you prefer to be in a chair, go ahead and get that chair. Otherwise, seated on the floor is wonderful. Maybe the back resting against the wall. Either way, the back is nice and straight and those shoulders draw away from your ears. Feel the muscles of the face just relax. Unclench the jaw. Feel a settling come into your body. Beginning by picturing the room around you with the eyes closed. Picturing what's on the walls. Picturing the light, the windows, maybe your favorite plants or books. Or wherever you are, just with your mind's eye, acknowledging the container of your existence. And next, coming right home, right into your body. With your mind's eye scanning from the tips of your toes all the way up through the legs, through the belly, just taking a scan to see how you physically feel today. Acknowledging sensations in your body and muscles and tissues and any discomfort. Just be aware of it. Make note of it. No need to dwell. Just acknowledging how you feel. Next, take that gaze all the way into your emotional body, your mental headspace, and just picturing, feeling, noting how your emotional body feels today, noting how your mind feels today. Where are your thoughts? How are you coping with things? Are you getting through life today? Maybe you feel joy. Maybe you feel anxiety. Just checking in, noting those things. Again, no need to dwell or analyze, just making note of them in the simplest way possible. And once we've done that, it's time to draw the breath in with intention. So that next breath in, you'll draw the air all the way in through the nose, traveling down all the way, feeling the belly and the lungs expand and fill, and you'll pause and hold for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and slow exhale all the way out. Feel yourself get completely empty, drawing that belly button all the way to spine, emptying your body of air. Next inhale, filling up. Feeling the lungs expand and that belly expand. Pause and hold for 4. Slow exhale, let it go. Release. Deep breath in. Pause and hold, relax the shoulders. Let it go. Take 3 more just like that. Deep breath in, feeling your body and your mind arriving into one place with these breaths. Pausing and holding at the top. Feel the stillness. Exhale long and slow. Deep breath in. Pause and hold. Slow release. Take your last one just like that. Pausing and holding at the top, relaxing the shoulders as you do so. Exhale, release, and let it go. Take one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. Continuing to draw those breaths in through the nose. Feeling the body as it rises and falls. Just checking in with where you are, who you are. One thing I have been thinking about is how change is constant and inevitable. And yet it is a point in our lives where often we feel resistance, even though we can completely count on it. We know it will happen. We know it will be a part of our lives. It's inevitable. This practice is for honoring the space where that resistance comes from and moving into acceptance. Acceptance that change will happen. And that we can transform just by choosing not to resist. So feeling the body rise and fall with that breath. Show yourself some gratitude for showing up for your practice today. Take the hands back to the tops of the thighs. Anytime you lose track of the breath or you get distracted, you can come back to drawing in those inhales, or you can always take the hands back to the body as a physical reminder of what the breath feels like entering and exiting. With the hands resting on the thighs, turn them so that the palms face up. In your mind, picturing a situation where you feel maybe out of control, or like the change is happening and you're not ready for it. You're not able to wrap your head around the change. Maybe it's the leaves changing. Maybe it's your kids growing up. Maybe it's someone you love getting older. Maybe it's heartbreak around injustice or inequality. Take a moment to acknowledge that point of resistance. Let it arrive in this moment with you. Let it be here. Feel your body adjusting to what that feels like. Where does that feel different in your body? That resistance. You feel it in your shoulders. Is the belly tensing up? Maybe you feel it in the neck or the jaw. Check in right now with what that feels like in your body. Acknowledge it as a part of you. Acknowledge it as a part of your experience. And then as the next deep breath draws in, feel the belly expand and the chest fill. Pause and hold. Exhale. Release. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Viktor Frankl said that. And as much as I don't like it, I find it to be quite true of our human experience and how often we spend energy and our resources, our emotional resources, on trying to change situations or outcomes that are futile in their efforts, or changing people, also futile in the efforts. Instead, how can we change ourselves and our mindset, our perspective? Take a deep breath in and slowly release. Deep breath in and release. Pausing here. Take a moment to sit by some water in your mind that you love. Maybe it's a lake or a river, a stream, a waterfall. Take yourself there in your mind. You love that place, wherever it is. You've been there before. Brings a slight smile to your lips to see the familiar rocks and the moss, the ferns maybe, or the reeds growing by the lake and the water. Just feeling peace as you sit there or stand there next to it. Take a moment to acknowledge the water, the beautiful attributes of water, constantly shifting, changing, being moved, forced around rocks, forced over cliffs, and it falls, and it rolls on. It transforms, it bends around the things in its way, flows over the logs or the stones, or it just carries the leaves and branches right with it. They're in that space with the water. Acknowledge that water today as your teacher. The water is going to guide you and teach you so much about adapting to change, about accepting, about moving through things, about applying a little less resistance to what we cannot change. Thank that water for teaching you. In your mind, now also bringing in that thing you initially thought of, that thing that you find resistance with, whether it's the changing seasons or a person or whatever it was, bringing that right here with you next to this water, bringing that in. What would it be like to set that down in the water? What would it be like to maybe jump in the water yourself and just free yourself from the resistance, the all-consuming nature of resisting change? And what would it be like to throw it far, far away into the water maybe? Just release it from you and let the water do the changing. Reflect on that for a moment. Maybe there's a tiny bit that you can release, or maybe all of it here at this place and by this water. Let the water be your teacher and take it with you. Take the imagery with you. Take the breath with you as you go. You can repeat these following things out loud or in your mind, depending on what you feel comfortable with or you feel like is necessary. I accept and receive change. I honor the life that comes from change. I honor the growth that comes from change. I accept the leaves falling as a natural part of life. I accept the changing seasons. I accept growing older. I accept the people around me. I know change is inevitable, and my resistance only increases my suffering. With palms facing up, I receive the goodness that change brings. I receive the goodness that change brings. I receive